everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and today we are talking about composition, and we are working with Prismacolor pencils. Pastel pencils, Prismacolor pencils, these are the things I love. I will work with regular pencil for certain things, but I love Prismacolor pencils, and I'm going to put a couple of examples of Prismacolor and pencil, but I wanted to talk to you about composition. So today I'm going to show you several different photographs, and I'm going to choose two, and we're going to make a composition out of that. Now, even though I'm using Prismacolor pencils, I'm not going to make it like the example I showed you, but you can. Now, Prismacolor pencils, you can get them at just about anywhere now. I bought this packet at Target, and they have a whole bunch of different color sets. Make sure you read what kind of color set it is. And the back, sorry, the way I have to put this to draw, I'll probably bump it. But the back shows you what colors are included. Now, Prismacolor pencils, you used to only be able to get them at the art stores, but you still can, of course. They come in, you know, all different amounts, and this particular set makes a little holder for you. But go ahead and buy them at the easiest place. It's the same pencil. Now, if you go to an art store, you can get them by each. And so if you run out of one color, like white, you know, you can just go pick up one rather than buying a whole new set. Now, you do need a couple of other things. You will need a pencil sharpener for art pencils, and that's color pencils, pastel pencils, Prismacolor pencils, any of those art pencils. I have them in a plastic thing that doesn't want to open, sorry. Not the Prismacolor, but what I want to get out. You are going to want to get a, they don't erase particularly well, but a good kneaded eraser can help you sometimes. These will help you to blend. Yes, Prismacolors blend, which is why I like them better than regular color pencils. And I use this type of pencil sharpener. Prismacolor actually puts out a pencil sharpener, and it's a metal pencil sharpener like this, and it's in a little thing that kind of looks like a cigar, and it'll catch the shavings for you. The reason that you don't want to use an electric pencil sharpener is that it will gum it up. And an electric pencil sharpener, you cannot take it apart to clean the blades. Something like this, the blade gets dull or gummed up. It's easy to change the blade or you know, take this stuff out of there. So those are the only other things that you'll need, but really you shouldn't need them too much. The pencil sharpener more than anything else. So here's the pictures that we're going to choose from. So I have these daisies and this bunny. I have this cactus and this cactus. I have this guy making ristras, and he was by this building. But of course, you know, if I wanted to draw this, I wouldn't want to draw all those people. But I could put him in here somewhere. Anyway, and then I have this duck a couple of times. This one's prettier because he's on grass. And this is the lake that the duck was by, but the grass is way over there. And this is another view of that same lake. and so is this. The grass is right here, but it kind of doesn't fit. And he's a cute duck. Actually, it's a she. She had a whole bunch of babies with a duck like that, and so the babies had white heads and this body. It was very cute. And these geese are on the same lake. So while I could figure out how to put those together, and I probably have pictures of the duck swimming, but he used to walk up close to me. So she used to walk up close to me, so I took a lot of pictures of her. And I could blend these together, but I think maybe I would want to do this one just by itself, but I would have to, do something to make it a little bit less brown. And these two cactuses, I could put this cactus down here, making sure that the size and perspective is right, because the shadows here are going that way, and the shadow here is going that way. So you have to be careful of those kinds of things, that you're not recreating exactly what that is if it doesn't go together. So I've decided to do this bunny, but not on these ugly rocks. This bunny lives by my house. There's a lot of coyotes and bobcats in my neighborhood. I haven't seen them in a while, but it is 113 out today. Well, maybe 116. At 11 o'clock, it was over 102. So, yeah, we're going to get hot today. So I could put the bunny in these plants, like right in here. So we're going to go ahead and start doing that. Now, I'm going to freehand it. So the bunny may not look exactly like the bunny here. The flowers may not look exactly like the flowers here. Don't sweat it. Nobody knows the pictures that you looked at, how you did it. The pictures that I inserted, nobody knows what those original pictures look like. So, but you do want to keep those nearby for a reference. And I'm going to use these pencils because this is what's more readily available to you. And I want to do the basic drawing in black. Is this black? Yes. Now, you do need to remember when you're sharpening a color pencil, sorry, I'm jiggling it, but it's in front of me and the paper is on the other side. Sharpen always from this side, not from this side, because this side tells you what color it is, the number and everything. If you sharpen from this side and you go over that, you don't know what color that is. And in this set, you can pretty much tell, but they have a lot of colors and some are very similar, and it just makes your life easier if you sharpen them from the end that they recommend. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my bunny. And I want my bunny to be the focal point. So the bunny's going to be pretty much right here. I'm going to put his back paws here, front legs here, and his ears are going to be about to here. Now, that gives me a space of where I'm going to put things, and then I can start my drawing. And like I said, it's probably not going to look exactly like this rabbit. If I wanted to make it look exact, there's several ways. Like if you're combining some pictures and maybe one of them is of a person you know, there's several ways to do that. And one of the cheapest and easiest ways is to take a photocopy of your picture, but blow it up to whatever size you need. And well, I used to scan it. Now I have other ways of doing it, but I used to scan it and take a photo editing program, and there's several free ones that you can use, and take that picture and make it as contrasty as you can, because you have the original one for color and shadow and all of that. What you're trying to do is get a drawing. So then you make sure you print it out, or at a photocopy place, print it out at the size that you need the final drawing to be. And then you take that and you probably did this when you were in elementary school, putting pencil on the back. You can put pencil, or you can put charcoal or charcoal white, depending on the color of paper that you're going to use, or even canvases if you want to paint it. And trace it. But before you start tracing it, take a low tack tape, like painter's tape or masking tape, or there are art tapes that you can use that won't destroy the surface that you're going to be using, and tape it to the top where it's a flap. So if this was your copy, you would tape it here so that you could lift it up and see if there's any places you missed without moving it, because there's no way you'll get it back exactly in the same spot. And you can trace it down onto your paper that way. Now, probably you remember a little advertising thing. If you can draw this freehand, you know, you can do some kind of art thing. You know what? There's no shame in tracing things. In art school, we used a machine that you put the photograph in, and it would project it down onto your paper, and you could trace it that way. And that was the easiest way for me doing portraits. And I have one that you can use at your home for that. Wasn't cheap, but you know, if you need it, you need it. So I am not putting his eye in yet. He's got these little ragged ears, and those are cute. So I'm going to remember to get those in. And I'm not pushing very hard on the paper for several reasons. This isn't the final colors and everything, and so I don't want those coming through in the final drawing. And every time you push hard on drawing paper, you dent the paper, and you can't undent it. That's why a lot of things won't erase completely. You'll see a line even if you're using regular lead pencil. That's why it won't erase, because you've pushed really hard. So anytime you're sketching something out at first, don't push very hard. Make it very, very light. See that line right there, I'm not going to want. And I can erase that by taking the kneaded eraser. And kneaded erasers, they're very pliable. You stretch them like this to clean the lead off of them. I use these more with my pastels, when I'm drawing with pastels, than I do with Prismacolor, because Prismacolor doesn't erase very well. But you can just kind of pick it up this way. So you don't have to worry about that too much. One note, these need to be kept in something that's airtight, little Ziploc bag or something like that, or they'll dry out and get nasty. Okay, so that's as much as I'm going to do on that. I'm not going to do too much of the leaf drawing, but I am going to put one daisy here. And for this purposes, I'm just going to make a wiggly line. because I'm gonna have to go over it with white, and I don't want to have black interfering with that. That just shows me where the flower is gonna be. And then I'm gonna put some leaves over his toes. We're blending the picture together here. And you can take artistic license here and do what looks good in your picture. So if it doesn't look exactly like the picture, that's okay. Because this is your drawing, you're making it up. And, you know, when people tell me, well, it didn't look exactly like that, yeah, I don't care. This is what it looks like now. So, because nobody's perfect. And unless it's a human that you're trying to draw, like a portrait or something like that, it doesn't need to look exactly like it did. It just needs to look like a rabbit in flowers. Now, I'm going to have leaves coming out here from the back. I had to put this off to the side so I could see it while I'm drawing. And I'm hoping kind of that I'm getting the drawing where it's supposed to be, because I can't see it. So I'm going to put, this is the stem, I'm going to put this other daisy right here. And as I said, I'm just doing a wiggly line because that's going to be white, and I don't want to get any color in there that doesn't belong. And just give yourself a, you know, a feeling of leaves. You can do one color in the back. See how this is almost black here? And then this is green. So if you just draw the green ones and the black underneath, it'll look right. And here's some stems, but I'm going to say that the bunny is over most of those stems. Now, I don't want just two daisies. And so I'm going to put a daisy right here over his back paw here, just because. Now, since I already had a leaf there, I am going to have to erase in here, or it'll come through the white. And we're almost ready to start applying color. Now, since the bunny is my main subject, I'm going to start applying color to the bunny. I'm going to start with his eyes because I have a black pencil in my hand. This eye you can't really see, so you don't need to worry too much about it. You just kind of have to have essence of black there. And you notice he has a little shiny spot. Oh, sorry. You notice he has a little shiny spot in his eye. So don't go over that. You can draw yourself little hatch marks here so that you know where that's going to go. And just, this is when you push a little bit harder, because that's the color you want, and you want it to actually look black, not gray. And then there's a little bit of black here on his nose. And on his mouth. There's black going on other places, but we can get that in a minute. And then I'm just going to put just this barest hint of black right here. Now, we're going to put a little line of black here by his tail. There is a lot of dark in him, but we're not going to worry so much about that right now. And I made him a little bit skinny, so I'm going to fix that right now. And I'm drawing a little bit darker because this is the drawing, it's not the sketch. draw the shadow between the paws here. Those little feet. And I want to poof out his back just a little bit more. Now, this set does not have gray, but it has brown. And there's two colors of brown. One is a reddish brown and one is a actual brown. And I'm going to use brown and black to get this gray color. And I'm just going to first sketch in some brown. And be sure you put it the way his hair is going. Put a little shadow here under his tummy. There's quail that live in my neighborhood too, but I can't get a picture. And they have a whole bunch of babies, and I want to get pictures, but they're fast. The bunnies, when you come out, they freeze and don't move, and so it's really easy to get a picture because they're trying to be invisible. And the quail just run like the dickens. They don't fly away, they run away. And the babies are so cute. They look like little bowling balls with legs. They're hilarious. And of course the quail have those little things on top of their heads. So they're fun. Oh, and the paper that I'm using is a, I forgot to tell you, sorry. It's a, it's a Strathmore, and Strathmore is always in different qualities, and so you can find that up here. This one says best, but there'll be lesser ones, and the lesser ones that are there are less expensive. And I just used this toned gray one because I don't know, I liked it. So you can use white, it doesn't matter. You use what you like. And as I said, I'm not gonna go through and make this look like the sample that I put on the movie video, sorry. Because this uses iMovie, so I was thinking about iMovie. So I'm going to just use this brown in here. And I know it looks very messy right now, but it'll start coming together. And don't forget that the inside of his ear is relatively see-through. You don't want to get anything in there. He has like a white halo around his eyes, so you want to make sure that you keep that. It's got white all over him, and there's kind of a yellowish tinge to his front legs there. And I'm still not happy with the way that this leg is looking. So we're gonna fill that in some more. And it's better to put less and then come back and put in more than to put in too much right away and you can't take it off, and then you'd have to start again. So going back over and back over is fine. Don't think that you have to do the whole thing at once. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over with a little bit of black, and it should look a lot a different color than the black that I use with pure black. And I'm going to go ahead and make this nose a little bit darker here. And I didn't get this cheek earlier. I covered up here where it's supposed to be white. I lost track of what I was doing. And yes, with pencil, you're supposed to constantly go one direction, but I'm going the direction that I see his hair going. But otherwise, yes, you would just go in one direction. It looks better that way. So when in doubt, just go one direction. So now I'm going to take white, and there's some places where I went over where the white should go, so I'm going to have to push kind of hard, and the dark is coming through, and I'm going to make it work for me in a minute. And with Prismacolor, the harder you push on the pencil, the flatter the color is. It'll blend with other colors. So that's how you get the look that I had on the sample that I showed you at the beginning. gosh, I'm sorry. I'm moving the camera and I apologize. Now, your pencil will pick up the other colors. So if you see that on your drawing, just take the pencil and run it through the pencil sharpener, and that'll take it off. You can also take it off by using another piece of paper and drawing with it. Okay, I'm gonna have to sharpen my pencil before I do daisies because I was pushing pretty hard there. I'm not pushing very hard on the yellow because it needs to look translucent. And I'm gonna go through and put a little white in here. And I'm going to put some white on the edge of this here. Okay, that's starting to come along. I'm very tempted to grab my gray out of that big box, but I'm going to work with these colors. So I'm going back to brown. This time I'm drawing, coloring it a little more slowly, giving it a little bit more, because I'm not just filling in, I'm getting that color exactly in the right spot. I still have that line in the middle of my white and it's irritating me. So I try my best to work with the mistakes that I make. I try to not erase. There's some techniques that I use for pastel that I need the eraser for, but it is for technique. It is not for fixing errors. And the reason being is that every time you apply an eraser to a piece of paper, you are damaging the paper. And it didn't come off anyway, so. So we're going to have to work with it the way it is. This is the black again. I'm going to end up putting green right here, so that's got that white there and it's supposed to be there, so. Sorry, I'm jiggling the camera. I apologize. Sorry, I'm not used to talking while I'm drawing. I concentrate, so I'm sorry if I'm being boring. I'm trying not to be. So I am going to call this bunny done for now. I may tweak him a little bit after putting in the grasses. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this pencil. And one thing, you need to make sure that the pencil stays completely straight in here in order to get a proper point. But I have to do it over my trash can, so. Okay, so and see that if you hold it straight, you get the point all the way around. I'm gonna do the daisies first, and then do the centers, and then I'll worry about where the greenery is. And I'm gonna leave a lot of this gray color. You don't have to cover the entire piece of paper. I often do, but you don't have to. And mattes, you can put a matte over it if you want to cover up the part that you didn't color. So it doesn't have to look exactly like this daisy. This is a sample of what a daisy looks like. And you just, the leaves just should be rounded at the end with a yellow center. And I think I made my centers too small, too big. You can fix that by making the leaves longer or making the center smaller. So since it's not blending well with the center black, I'm just going to go ahead and make the leaves longer, the petals longer. And I never intended this to be like anything more than a sketch. The more time you take after you've started it here, and you don't have to do mine. Just pick 2 pictures that you like, that you think will go well together, and try to put them together and see what happens. Okay, so the other one is here, and since I went over it with his foot because I wasn't paying attention to where my flower was, he's sitting on this flower, which is fine. He can sit on flowers if he wants to. And I do like the way this is coming out, so I might go through and make a more detailed drawing of it later. I mean, the same drawing, I wouldn't just start again, but go through and use some of my other colors and all of that. And I noticed at Target there were several versions of this, different color sets, and they're not horrendously expensive. They've come down in price. You can also go to places like Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and they have a bigger selection. So you can do that, and you can get like a brighter yellow than this yellow. So you can, there's all kinds of things to do. Now, on the centers of the daisies, you want to go around from the, like an iris on an eye. Leave the middle. Well, that center of that daisy looked really big. We'll say it's squashed. And if I truly hate it, I can always blend and make it into something else. Like I said, I believe in working with my mistakes rather than trying to undo them. So, and Prismacolors will blend. You can get a different color by putting two different colors on top of each other, kind of like I did up here. I didn't do it really hard, but if I kept going at it, I would be able to make a different color. So I'm actually making it worse. Okay, so taking the lighter brown that was in here, this is called sienna brown. Yeah, I don't remember what the other one was. And we're going to go just around the edge in a very little wiggly circle. And in the center, just a little bit out from the center. And I'm going to do this here too, but I'm going to make this brown edge not quite so far out. So it doesn't look so weird. And it's kind of a strange color. All right. Now I'm going to take black and I'm just going to kind of go in between lightly. I'm not going to, push very hard, just to show some definition in the petals. And some of them are like double petals, so be careful that you don't go over that. This is just going to add to the green when the green's around it, that's all. You're not trying to actually make definition. You're just kind of, not outlining, but giving them a little bit of shadow. All right. Now, there's two colors of green in here. There's this green. Everything's turning. Okay, so, and one is this is called grass green, and this one is apple green. And apple green to me looks like the same color. Look at the difference here. It looks like the same color as these light petals. And I'm going to enhance it with this grass green, which is more like this. And then for these things in here, of course, black, which is why I was, oh, I forgot to go around that one, didn't I? Why didn't you remind me? I'm not going to do many more leaves than what you see there that I drew, because it's about the bunny, it's not about the leaves. So and again, you just start light. You don't have to finish each leaf the first time. Near the flowers, there's more shadow, so it would be the other green. I didn't draw these over here, but I feel like they need to be here, so I'm putting them in. The reason I keep adjusting my pencil is the lead is going to flat, and I must have used it for something else before I started this thing. I've had this set for a little while, so because I can't resist Prismacolor pencils. I love them. So let's put more leaves up above his head. So what I'm doing here is I'm making one end of the leaves darker. And I am going to put some darker leaves here by the flower, but on these one end darker. And then I'm going to take that light one again and blend it together. And while I'm looking at this, I'm not copying it. I'm just kind of getting a feel for the shape of leaves and, you know, kind of sort of the placement of the leaves. And we can't have these leaves floating in space, so they've got to come together and, you know, have a stem or something holding them up. The ones that are on the closer to the ground, you know, not so much a problem, but, you know, leaves don't normally float in the air unless they're brown and they've come off a tree. So I'm about done with the greens here. I'm not going to add a whole lot. I want the bunny to be the focus point, but I need to add some black, and I also can't figure out what I did with my pencil sharpener. There it is. I'm going to sharpen this green pencil because I can't draw with it. It's too blunt. Oops, missed the trash can. Okay. Some vacuuming is in my future. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this and extend some stems. And I am very much a person who likes, I am so sorry that every time I move the table, it moves the camera. And I hope to find a better solution for this, but I have to put the camera in between me and the table in order for you guys to see what I'm doing. And for pencil drawing, I just can't use an easel. It's not, I have to push too hard. So So the final step here is going to be adding black to give it a little bit of richness in the petals. But normally I like to have things very, very detailed, very correct. When I was in college, I took an art class and I got a bad grade because she said I took too long to do my painting, that artists couldn't make any money if they didn't do their paintings quicker. I beg to disagree. So I was like, I'm sorry, people can't tell me how long to take to do my painting unless it's commissioned painting, and then I can tell them how long it's going to take. But in that particular painting, it was a water buffalo or something, and I used a 00 paintbrush and was painting every hair that you could see with the sun hitting it on his back, and and I'm like, I just draw very detailed paintings. So it's taken me a long time to learn to let go of that and to be a little bit more relaxed in what I'm doing. I'm putting some of these pencils back because they're all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to put in some black here. Now, I'm not going to put it in everywhere, but here next to the bunny, I want to put more. I might add some of that dark green on top of it just so it looks not like the bunny. And I'm going to round out the flower petals a little bit here. I'm pushing real hard against the table, the drafting table, so that I won't jiggle it, and I'm still jiggling it. I'm so sorry. Okay. I am not liking that at all. That's kind of what the picture looks like. I just don't like it. So I am blending green into it to take away some of that. I don't know, the black just wasn't the right color to put in there. Probably an indigo blue would have been good. I have a blue here. Maybe if I add blue, that'll help. Yeah, I like these leaves by themselves a lot better. This is violet blue. I don't know about that. I'm testing this color on a different piece of paper because you should never put a color that you really don't know what color it is on something that you're drawing. Violet, no. True blue. Well, neither one of those will work. None of those will work. So, I'm going to put in a tiny bit of this violet. Let's see if it helps. I guess it's okay. And part of this is because I'm limiting myself to the colors that I see here, because, you know, not everybody can go and get the 72 pencil Prismacolor package. And also I've added to that since I purchased it. I have colors in there that weren't in there originally. So I don't even know what came in it. You know, frankly, I don't know what colors originally came in it. So, because I use them extensively in school and afterward. That helps, actually. It's not bad. Okay, that looks weird. I thought I was drawing a thin line and I didn't. Put some black over that, I think. And start letting it be the way it is. Lost my black pencil. Oh, there it is. All right. I'm not going to go through and put the black everywhere else because I don't want to. It's not that I think, I just really like how this is like not ground and this looks more like ground. Because the bunny isn't floating in air, he's sitting on the ground. So I'm going to call this done. And I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a like. And if you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate if you subscribe. And thank you very much. Bye.